Welcome to Talat Sofra. Thank you for being with me today. I'm cooking for you today one of the dishes that everybody loves that I make, and it's the saffron rice. Now, one of the reasons why this is like, for me, it makes it like almost a full meal just to do the rice by itself, is because of all the add-ons I add on top of it. You don't have to, but this is what I do. I put as much as possible. I'll just go, whenever I'm making this, I'll just go into my freezer and see what I have. Most of the time, I want to make sure that I have the raisins, the different color raisins. I have some nuts, and then my mom loves when she puts these orange peels. So I'm going to cut these and put them in the pot and start them on low heat to get cooking, and then I'll start on the rice. And I'm also making for you green beans, not the green beans that we're familiar with, green beans stew that is Middle Eastern, and again, it's got some flavors that you have not tried before. I'm making this a meat dish, but I always tell my friends, usually when I make these dishes, I make two kinds, the one with the meat and the one without. This one is with the meat. The same thing I'm making now, with the exception of having the meat part of it, you can just do it. I would make two dishes today, one a vegetarian and one not, but for the sake of like a different thing, because I have done these things before where I show you how to do it with meat or without. I'm just gonna make it with meat. And then the next time I'll make a vegetarian dish, solely a vegetarian dish. Start the fire. And right here is where I'm going to be making my rice. I always make my rice, if I have butter in the house, I make it with butter. Rice does not matter. You can make it with any kind of fat. You can make it with lard. You can make it with vegetable oil, with coconut oil, anything. I just love to make it with butter. And even though you can't really taste the butter very much in the rice when you cook it, because there's going to be so many different other flavors, but I always feel like I want to have that hint of butter in there. So we'll start this again on very low heat. Wait for the butter to start to melt. And I have rice here in the bowl. Let me remove this from here. What I'm going to do is wash this rice as much as possible. This is what makes the rice taste really good, when you take all the starch out of it. And it makes it white. At the end of it, it makes it very white. But we're not going to worry about the white, the color, because we're going to do saffron rice, and the saffron is yellow. And now I'm going to pour it just like it is. Always the assembly of making a rice is to wash it, put it in the with the oil or butter, whatever. Cook it for a minute with it being very hot. Add water. This much higher, higher than the actual rice. And then bring to boil. Once the water comes to the same level as the rice itself, then simmer it to the lowest temperature for 20 minutes. I'm going to increase the temperature here so we can start on this. The way you make saffron rice, of course, you have to put the saffron in there. I don't need a lot of saffron. I just need a pinch. So also, saffron is good to put in hot water. So see how much this thing is? I used very little, maybe less than 50% of that. I'm going to put hot water with it. And then once the rice is to a point where I can add the water to it, I feel like the oil, the butter, the water in there is boiling. I'll add some salt to it. Like I said, this water, I'm just gonna add it to where it's just barely above it, covering the rice. And the reason I'm not adding more is because this has water in it. I'm gonna have that go on top. That's the saffron. I'll need some more water to wash this. That's that. Now, there's also saffron liquid that I always add to it just to make the colors a little bit more brighter. Now this one is basically mostly just coloring. They say that it's saffron liquid, but it's just for coloring. And I just want it to be the color that I like. Now, again, the secret to my rice that a lot of people say that it's the best rice, it's good, it's all of this, of course, because I add all that other stuff to it. There are two kinds of add-on that I add to my rice. The rose water is what I add. There is also the orange blossom water, which I don't use for this. Usually the orange blossom is used for dessert and this for the actual food. There are a lot of people that use both of them in dessert, but definitely for the rice, I don't use the rose water. I mean, I use the rose water, I do not use the orange blossom. So for this, this should be enough. But because I'm a generous person, I add some more. And that's it. This makes the rice. Now, all I have to do is wait for it to boil, get the water to where it's the same level as the rice, and then simmer it for 20 to 30 minutes. Now let's move on to the green beans. Now before we started this, I got some raw green beans and I started boiling them, which I will add on top of the meat. But I also, like I always tell you, the flavors come from like you have to put a lot of different type of flavors and spices. What I do is I just get these cans that has everything in them. This has the onions and the spices and whatever, it's all nice and clear and cooked, ready to eat actually. I'm not gonna add any salt to this. Every time I have anything to do with when I'm using any cans of food with it, I don't add salt. I just use the can by itself. Now I'm gonna open another one. I think that should be good. Oh, I already smell it. Very, very good. The rice smells delicious. There's this. I'm gonna lower the temperature on the rice. Give it a short, easy stir until it actually gets rid of the excess water. And now, let me see how this feels. Okay, I'm gonna put this here on top of it. And now, all I'm gonna do is add some flavors. And the flavors can be, just before I started filming, I decided, okay, I'm gonna put some garlic and onions. I'll put all this onion here. It doesn't have to be sauteed. Just like these already have the onions and they're not sauteed, so just to mix them up. And I'm gonna put some diced garlic in there. garlic and onions flavor everything to the max. I don't know why they don't make cameras with a way where you can smell. This smells delicious. It smells really good. This one right here is getting all the flavors, the onions and the garlic in there. See the colors? This is all delicious. Now, I'm gonna, like I told you, I'm going to simmer, put it at the lowest temperature here. Cover it. There it is. And that's it. This is done. I'm gonna wait 20 minutes and it's ready to serve. And this is, I just let it go until it's cooked and the flavors are all in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice in there. I add a lot of pomegranate in my food. This one, I'm just gonna add lemon juice. What we're gonna do, which is what makes this rice even extra special, is how I cook the extras that I put on top of them. I'll leave this outside here because I might need more. I'll put a little bit of that oil. I'll start cooking each one of these toppings. Start with the walnuts. Every time I do this, what I want to do is I'm going to return it in here because I'm going to layer it. And every time I do this, I want to bring it back in here just give it a quick cook. So I'll just give it a couple of minutes here. Wait for it to feel like it doesn't look like it's the way I want it to look like. Yeah, it's getting there now. I'll just take it out and put it here and do the next thing. A lot of people tell me that my rice is the best, and it's only because of all of this. It's not because I use any tricks or I use any special type of rice or I use anything else. It's all there. I think the only flavor that people can't tell what it is the rose water. And I tell people, all you have to do is just add rose water. And they always say, oh, really? Rose water, okay. But they don't know how much. I just say a little bit, that's it. So I try to use the same oil. There's no reason for me to dump this oil and put new one in there. The only thing I want to make sure of is I don't use, I don't have any leftovers of the pecan in here, because then they'll burn. Here's the second one. These will do very quickly. First of all, because the oil is already hot, and this is already cooked very well. See how quickly this goes through? This cooks very quickly. Sunflower seeds are very delicate. We don't want. Now, if you have other, like a lot of people will put pine nuts, any kind of different nuts, or peanuts. I used to do peanuts when I had peanuts. I'll go buy these bulk raw peanuts. I don't buy anything that I want to put on top of the rice that have any salt in them. So I always get the raw kinds. And if I don't see the raw ones, I don't buy them. Let's get the pistachios. This is cooked. I mean, I don't know anybody who cooks these dishes this fast. And they come out really good. The flavors are delicious. We don't want the pistachios to burn, but before I go any further, one of the things I'm gonna do is make sure that this just simmers. So I'll add this to it. Okay. Now we have We have one more nuts, only because that's all I found in the freezer. If I had found cashew or peanuts or anything else, I'll put it in there. I love macadamia nuts too. And if I can find them, I'll put it on there. You need, like I said, you need to get the raw one. No salt, because you don't want to add on top of the rice, you don't want to add any flavor in there of salt or anything like that. So this is the last one in the nuts. What I'm gonna do when the last nuts are done, I'm gonna throw away the oil and put a new oil in there for the raisins. Again, this is almost quickly, it's cooked. I'm going to change the oil. This is the black raisin. You don't have to get the best quality of the raisins for this, so you don't even have to spend a lot of money on it. I find these bulk, and I get them for as low price as possible. So this is almost done. What I'm going to do is, while this is cooking, I'm gonna start assembling the rice, the dish of the rice. Let me get a plate. Let's see. Okay. Like I said, you don't have to do them all of these. A lot of people don't. Some people just put one type of raisin, one type of nuts. That's just not the way I do it. The rice is amazing. Honestly, this is amazing. It looks great. So usually what I do is I fill the plate with the rice. You can design it any way you want to. And while these last two are cooking, I'll start assembling this very quickly. Now the orange peel, I usually do the same thing with it. I'll cook it the same way. My mom, who taught me how to do this, says she never does. I'm gonna do it just because I always do it, but I'm just gonna leave it there for 1 second. She says just take it just like it is and put it. And that's all that it needs. Just a quick stir. And that's it. All right, so now, usually I start with the raisin stuff. And I start putting it like this. Like I told you, what we do here, we're doing it the way we do it always. Like, this is how I cook, this is at home. I'm inviting you to my house, and I don't do anything commercial. And now I'm gonna start with the nuts. I'll start with this. Now, some people design this differently. They'll make a design with it. I'm just doing it like that for today. Sometimes when I have more time, I usually, if I feel like I'm being creative that day, I'll do that. A lot of times, however, instead of stacking them together, I'll do the raisins in the middle and the nuts on the sides. And I honestly tell you that you've never had rice this good. And if it was just one group of people that tell me that, I would not believe it. But I've been doing this for more than 20 years, and every time people will come and tell me this is the best rice. This is the final product of the rice. Like I said, I can make it look a little bit better if I was in a creative mood, but you don't always feel that way. And that's it. We've got the green beans stew. That's not red stew. And the rice, the saffron rice with all the toppings. When you eat this soup, when you serve the soup, you're gonna get the best compliments because it's very easy. You saw how long it took. It's very easy, very quick, and it has a lot of flavors in it. Thank you very much, and thank you for stopping at طاولة السفرة.